Well, Coach, no rain in the forecast. That's the good news, but it is a chilly December day here in the Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Seattle Seahawks. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Mike.
Lady.
Oh, you got deep? Oh, you look.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. They'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
First and 10.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a first and 10.
Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Wilson. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They run again on first down. Cook. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
From the 44, Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 33.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first. And a big loss here as he's taken down. A week ago, they dominated in the trenches. They got in the backfield for 5 sacks, setting the tone there, one on the opening drive.
And it sets the tone for the opposing team, doesn't it? Remember when you were a kid and you went to the theater and saw that horror movie and it stuck with you for a while and you were a little bit jumpy? But if you saw 5 sacks the previous week and you're the quarterback, you might be a little jumpy as well. It might throw off his timing.
Yeah, it'd be jumpy, but sorry, Bob and Linda wouldn't let me see a PG movie until I was 17.
Well, that's just good parenting.
Give him 9 on the play, and it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Good, guys. 4 down, 4 down.
Third and long, it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And this one is right down Broadway. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
Here we go. 90 Wolf.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right.
Foot out. Check. Foot out. Smooth. Let's go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Second and 10. Going back to Moore. This time he's got him complete. Good yardage there for the Colts. 18 and a first down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. He'll drop to throw. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They start the drive with Cook. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Zebra.
Check three.
Hey, alert.
On the carry, it's Cook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down.
25.
From the shotgun, Wilson. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Brandon Cooks with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
He's going to go for a big play downfield, and that is incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Let's go. Let's bring it.
Now back to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep. They've got his man complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
A gain of 30. And the Colts first down.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 17-0 our score after 1. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hey, wahoo! 49's the mic. Watch 49. Go out. Go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
Hey, Haywood. 49, guys. Mike, 49. Come to my world. We want it. Come to my world. 49 the mic. 49 the
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Jadeveon Clowney has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Check tight. Check tight. Tight dog. SOS.
Here's Wilson to throw. Rolling to his right. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And this is going to get out of bounds, so they will gain a bit of yardage on the play, actually, and they'll hold on to the football as well.
Green 80. Good job right there. Check 37. Check 50. Good guys, 4 down. Motion. Check 59, Mike. Good.
On third down, Wilson. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on third down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on third down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
It's now 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Now a run with Cook. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 7.
The Seahawks on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Turn up. 36.
Let's go double count right here. Double count.
A toss to Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
That's it, baby. Let's go. At their own 27-yard line.
Ready, break.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him, let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Rush in. Check easy. Check hot.
On the ground, it's Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, watch number 33. Single.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And this is Cook with the ground. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Smart that.
51.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. That'll be caught. It's Steven Sims. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. Call it a loss of 12 that time. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Let's get it.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down.
Go together. 49. 49's the mark. 49's the mark. I'm coming. I'm coming. Go. 49's the mark. Watch 49. Yo, fight.
Back to throw here. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, but it's going to be 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Throwing again. Wilson. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Good. Go. Out. Joker. I'll go special. I'll go short.
First down, here's the run with Cook.
Go.
First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the game there.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me.
Shit.
Got it.
Cook. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime.
Check, 59. Get ready. One left. Mike, check, 59.
Now on 2nd and 16. Wilson, the Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for the loss on the running play on the previous down, then comes right back and gets a sack.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here.
Zero. There. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. Orbit. Mike's 59. Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Sponge. No. Check. Cross.
Wilson. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. Here's Moore on the return. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off Byron Jones. And he will be brought down as time is now run out on this first half of action. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway.
Good work, boys. Let's go.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. They'll go again here with Mack. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw. And he's got his target. That's Moore. 9 yards that time. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Hey, Delta. 49, guys. Mike, 40. Let's go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. This is caught inside the 15. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. as his guys are in for 6. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run. Cook. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Now Cook. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
Green 80. Hey, let's get that ball, D. Let's get that ball. Back. Check 24.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball to cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 35. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. There goes a deep ball, end zone. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. And this works out well as it'll kick out of bounds at the 11-yard line.
At their own 11-yard line.
1
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot?
And now nothing but green ahead of him. The 40, 30, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Dalvin Cook, 89 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and, oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
He's going to fire one. Deep left side. He's got a man. Complete. That goes as a gain of 36 on 3rd down.
Now that one hurts defensively. They force them into 3rd and long, had the advantage, yet they give up the big play right there.
Yeah, their offense was already warming up on the sideline, ready to come out. So much for that 3 and out. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on this. And now here is another interception. And it's Clinton-Dix with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead is now 24. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. They'll look to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And my goodness, another interception. It's Clinton-Dix with a pick. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Good starting field position here for the Seahawks as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 20-yard line. That one good for 33 and a first. They just look like they're having fun out there. Big lead. There's another big play on the big run. I mean, they can't be stopped.
I'm a little bit older than you, as you well know, partner, and you tend to tell me that all the time. But there used to be a big-time song, and the lyric was, "Summertime and the living is easy." Right now, it's football time, and the running is easy for this crew.
This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
On second down, it's Cook, and he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D. Kill.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Seahawks on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1.
Undercrush. Switch.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
Myers for the Seahawks field goal. A 29-yard attempt.
And Myers able to knock it through, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded at the 2. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now a deep ball here hauled in just past the 50. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
A 28-yard gain.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. They'll set up a throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up a 2nd and goal.
At the Seahawks 3-yard line.
Let's go now. 10-2, son. I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son. Hey, check.
2nd and 3. And he's got his tight end. That's Ebron, and it's a Colt touchdown. Eric Ebron, his first touchdown on the year. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer.
The kicker on for the extra point.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point right down the middle. And that will shave one more off this lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They run it again with Cook. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. This is Harris. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. On first down, Cook. Just bowling over tacklers. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying,
Cook stripped, the ball's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. It's Cook. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And a minuscule gain of maybe a yard from the 6 to the 5. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
Mike's 59. Pick me up. Here we go.
And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
They'll try and run with Harris. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. 6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th. And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And he is going to lose yardage here. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal, win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Seahawks, it's a good 5th win for them as they play out the string. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers. Meanwhile, for the Colts, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves